To the world, Formula One in the 1970s was a gladiatorial suicide mission. To Lauda, it was an engineering equation. He wasn't interested in being a hero, romanticizing danger, or seeking approval. He cared about one thing: the brutal, objective truth of performance. And when that calculation faced the ultimate test, a wall of fire, 800-degree toxic fumes, and the edge of human mortality, his response shocked the entire world. This is the blueprint of pure mental endurance. August 1st, 1976, the Nürburgring, known as the Green Hell. On the second lap, Lauda's Ferrari snapped off the track, slammed into an embankment at extreme speed, and instantly erupted into an inferno. He was trapped inside a burning cockpit for nearly a minute, while toxic gas seared his lungs and flesh melted from his skull. When they pulled him out, doctors gave him zero chance. In the hospital, his burns were so severe and his lungs were so damaged that a Catholic priest was called to his bedside to administer the Last Rites, the final prayer given to the dying. Lauda heard the priest. He felt the extreme weakness pulling him into darkness. An average person accepts the end, but Lauda's mind refused to shut down. He later said that hearing the priest made him furious. Instead of drifting into sleep, he forced himself to stay awake. Every second, he consciously commanded his lungs to breathe. In, out. In, out. He understood a fundamental truth. The moment you surrender mental control, your body follows. Survival is a decision. 6 weeks, 42 days. That is all it took for Niki Lauda to walk out of that hospital, travel to Italy, and put his helmet back on at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. His face was covered in open wounds. His right ear was destroyed. His eyelids were partially reconstructed, meaning he couldn't blink properly. When he pulled his racing helmet on, the fresh skin on his head tore open and bled into the padding. His rivals looked at him in terror. The media thought he was insane. Was he terrified? Yes. During the first practice lap, he admitted his hands shook with fear. But this is where champions separate from the crowd. Amateurs wait for fear to disappear before they take action. Professionals acknowledge the fear, execute the mechanics, and let discipline overpower panic. Lauda got in the car, completed 52 brutal laps, and finished in 4th place. It remains one of the greatest acts of pure psychological resilience in human history. True strength is not just knowing when to push. It is having the self-mastery to know when to stop. The final race of the 1976 season took place at Fuji, Japan. Torrential rain turned the track into a lake. Drivers could not see 5 feet ahead. The organizers forced the race to go on anyway. Lauda completed 2 laps. He pulled into the pit lane, unbuckled his harness, and walked away from the World Championship. Ferrari urged him to lie to the press, to say the engine failed so he wouldn't look weak. Lauda refused. He looked straight into the cameras and said, "My life is worth more than a title. I chose not to drive in that weather." Weak men let ego make their decisions. They risk everything to avoid looking soft to strangers. Lauda had nothing to prove. He had looked death in the eye 42 days prior. He was not going to die for somebody else's entertainment. That wasn't cowardice. That was supreme self-command. Lauda's famous philosophy was simple. From success, you learn absolutely nothing. From failure and setbacks, conclusions can be drawn. Most people treat failure as an emotional tragedy. They take rejection personally. They sulk when a project doesn't work out. Lauda treated failure like an engineer analyzing telemetry data. What broke? Why did it break? How do we adjust the setup? The following year, in 1977, he returned to the track with that exact clinical mindset and dominated the season, winning his second world championship. Strip away the drama. Stop attaching emotional stories to your setbacks. When you fail, don't cry about it. Diagnose it, fix the weakness, and get back on the track.
Take a hard look at your obstacles today. Are you letting your feelings dictate your effort? Are you letting past scars or current fears keep you on the sideline? Scars are proof that you survived the fire. But your future depends on what you do when you step out of the hospital. Ditch the excuses. Master the fear. Build the discipline. Construct your life. This is the Blueprint Daily. Subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.